Hi, I'm Ingrid, and I'm here to talk to you about The Castle, Franz Kafka's masterpiece. Now, I must be honest, the first time I read The Castle, I could not get past the first 10 or so pages. And it was only after I had a major life event where I found out I may not have necessarily that much longer to read books like The Castle that I decided I really wanted to enjoy the best that life has to offer me in terms of stories and literature, that I really got into it and read it and loved it, and I want to share that with you. The Castle is kind of amazing because it starts out as this fairy tale where this man arrives at this village late at nights. It's dark, it's cold, the village is covered in snow, and he arrives at this inn where he is quickly told that he needs a permit from the castle to even spend the night there. A phone call is made to the castle, and first everybody is told, oh, who is this person? We have no record of him. Then the officials in the castle call back and say, oh yes, he is the land surveyor and he is duly appointed to be working on behalf of the counts. And that kind of ambiguity of, people and confusion kind of pervades the entire novel. And I just wanted to give you a quick tip about reading this. What's going to happen to you is probably the same thing that happened to me, which is about 10 minutes into it, you're going to go, or like a couple chapters into it, you're going to go, wait a minute, why is this man continuing to try and stay in this village? Why doesn't he just give up and go back to where he came from, to a normal reality, and just stop trying to fit in with people at the castle and this whole crazy village? But when you realize that none of us in this life really have the option of exiting the stage that we are on, and we don't really have the option of giving up on what we want, because if you do that, there kind of isn't really any point to your life. If you can just get past that initial frustration, you're going to find that what Kafka has done is completely amazing, because the main protagonist, Ka, has no backstory. We don't know anything about him. We don't know really, even if he is a land surveyor. He says he is, and yet he shows up completely ragged, looking like a tramp. And we don't even know if, well, we do know actually that his assistants that are given to him by the castle are not really his assistants. And initially there's even ambiguity about that. But Kafka creates this entire novel with Ka, the protagonist, having no backstory. And yet we're somehow able to relate so well to Ka. And kind of throughout the whole thing, I'm kind of rooting for him, going, go for it, Ka, keep trying to reach your goal of getting in touch with the people at the castle, because Ka, I don't know how Kafka does it, but Ka just has this really rational, really pragmatic attitude to everything, and is actually really brave. He just keeps going, and no obstacle put in his way is too great. He's told you're going to have to work as a janitor. He's told you can't get a hold of people in the castle. There's this crazy messaging system. Messages don't really seem to get through. It's impossible to have any real communication with people in the castle. And yet he doesn't give up. And what amazed me is that initially we think it's all going to be this epic story about Ka and his struggle against the castle, and that he's going to be the main driving force behind the action. But what you start to discover is that the novel is much bigger than that. It's really about the other characters, the people who initially you think are going to be really minor characters, such as Barnabas the messenger and his family, and the horrible struggle that they've been through against the castle. And that I found just breathtaking, how Kafka shows us it's in his struggle, what to succeed, what Ka really needs to do is to connect with the people around him. And whether or not Ka does that successfully or not, I think is an open question, and you can decide that for yourself. But it's definitely worth reading. And you're going to find that you're going to approach life with a more open mind, and I think with more compassion towards the people around you. And it's a really enriching experience, and I really recommend reading The Castle and giving it a chance.